Okay, it is no longer a viable option to simply excavate contaminated soil and move it to a landfill where it will continue to be toxic to the environment. This is not a solution, but simply a relocation. A better environmental solution is to have a cost-effective way to convert the contaminated soil into clean soil in a way that does not impact the land further. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Luke Lee. I'm the Director of Operations for Chief Oilfield Services Bioremediation Division. And today I'm going to be presenting to you on bioremediation. Let's see if I can get this. So what is bioremediation? Simply put, bioremediation is a branch of biotechnology that employs the use of living organisms like microbes and bacteria in the removal of contaminants, pollutants, and toxins from the soil, water, and other environments. And how does bioremediation work? Bioremediation relies on the stimulating growth of certain microbes that utilize contaminants like oil, solvents, and pesticides for sources of food and energy. These microbes convert the contaminants into small amounts of water as well as harmless gases like carbon dioxide. And there are three general approaches to bioremediation. There's bioaugmentation, biostimulation, and natural attenuation. Bioaugmentation is the addition of microbes previously collected from other sites and commercially cultivated. Biostimulation is the addition of a nutrient or oxygen to the contaminated soil in hopes that it'll be enough to get the indigenous microbes present to break down the contaminant. And then natural attenuation is simply just monitoring the site in hopes that the microbes present will mutate and actually break down the contaminant. And obviously the most effective cleanup method is the bioaugmentation method, which we practice. Okay, what do you need for effective bioremediation? Oxygen, a minimum oxygen at 1 parts per million, essential inorganic nutrients such as nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, usually found in the soil, and then also contact with the substrate. The microbes need to make contact with the contaminant itself to be able to break it down. And then water, you need to have a 10% minimum water content in the soil, which can obviously be added. So why use this method of cleanup? First off, it is smaller footprint. You're not disrupting the area. Other methods, you come in with the dig and haul method, so you'll dig up the contaminant and haul it off. So completely disrupting the area. Total elimination of cradle to grave liability. You're actually destroying the contaminant in place. Creates harmless byproducts after the microbes go through their process. What you have left over is CO2 and water, which are actually better amendments for the soil. And then last, cost effective. Compared to other methods, bioremediation is 40 to 50% less. So our organism, the reason that our consortium of microbes are so effective is because they contain domain archaea, which are a diverse group of organisms. They break down a variety of materials. They exist solely to recycle contaminants, and they thrive in extreme environments such as extreme cold and extreme hot temperatures. And obviously in North Dakota, we're gonna deal with extreme cold. So it's good to have a microbe that's able to continue to break down the contaminant even though it's 20 below. And here is a diagram showing you how the bacteria actually works. So the bacteria actually secretes an enzyme. The enzyme attacks the fats, sugars, and starches, breaking them down into smaller bits. This allows for the bacteria to actually eat up those broken down bits. They secrete the CO2 and water, and this process will happen over and over again until the contaminant is completely eradicated. And what you have left over is better amendments for the soil, which is CO2 and water. And through that process, the microbes are able to break down a wide variety of compounds. And I have a list here, and I'll name a few. You got benzene, branched hydrocarbons, crude oils, cutting oils, diesel fuels, and heating oils. And here is a project that we're currently working on and remediating. So on this site, a recycle pump was actually left on, causing an overflow on the pad, and the contaminant had flowed off on the side of the pad. And on the pad, they did the dig and haul method. They hauled off all that soil, but off the pad, which affected roughly 5,000 square feet, we did our remediation method. And through that remediation method, we were very effective in reducing the hydrocarbons. And here are some analytics from a third party. And as you can see, the DRO, diesel range organics, and the MRO, motor range organics, had reduced roughly 90 to 95%. And this is over a 6-month period. And they didn't have to put a shovel in the ground. Okay. And then here's another project that we're currently remediating, and this is a tank battery containment area. And there was a release on this, in this containment that released roughly 100 barrels of oil. 50 was recovered. And through our initial site analysis, we seen that the oil had seeped down to roughly a foot around the whole containment. And then through our process, our remediation process, we were able to reduce those levels as well, as you can see. And this was over a 4-month period, reducing the diesel range organics and the motor oil range. And then here is some other analytics of other projects that were successful as well, utilizing this method of bioremediation. Some took a day, as you can see, the first one, heating fuel from 160 parts per million down to 5 in just a day. Jet fuels, 900 parts per million down to 9 in 21 days. So, okay, that's all I have. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Can you guys have any questions?
I had a quick one. How do you achieve a consistent access to oxygen without, I mean, do you have to, cycle the dirt, or, because I'd imagine once it gets down past a certain point, that the enzymes and bacteria.
Yeah, we're constantly monitoring our projects and re-wetting the areas to ensure oxygen. And then also, we have oxygenated water that we utilize as well. Yes. Yep. Okay. All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.